Can you hear it? The hiss of carbonation, now twisted into something sinister. Welcome, brave souls, to a place where refreshment turned to nightmare. I am the Nightmare Maestro, and tonight we trespass where sweetness once reigned supreme. Imagine, if you will, a Coca-Cola factory forgotten by time, its gates rusted shut, its once gleaming bottling lines now corrupted by neglect and darker forces. What secrets lie buried beneath the saccharine facade of America's favorite drink? By the time our tale concludes, you'll never look at a vending machine the same way again. The chain-link fence rattled as Zach cut through it. "Welcome to Coca-Cola's dirty little secret," he grinned at his friends. Mia, the group's skeptic, rolled her eyes. "It's just an old factory. Nothing special." Tyler, live streaming on his phone, panned across the overgrown lot. "This video's gonna go viral," he whispered. As they slipped inside, none noticed the faded warning sign. "Caution, experimental formulas in use." The Coca-Cola logo above it seemed to warp, its familiar script now menacing. Can you taste it, dear viewers? The first sip of terror is always the sweetest. Moonlight filtered through broken windows, casting eerie shadows on rusted conveyor belts. Glass bottles, some still filled with dark liquid, littered the floor. "It's so quiet," Mia whispered, her voice unnaturally loud in the stillness. Zach nodded, fighting a chill. "Let's check out the main production floor. There's gotta be some cool old machinery." As they approached a massive vat, a gurgling sound emanated from within. "Probably just leftover soda," Tyler offered weakly. "But sodas don't bubble with a rhythm that sounds disturbingly like a heartbeat, do they?" Inside the control room, rows of faded monitors stared blankly. Mia reached for a dusty logbook, then gasped. The final entry, scrawled in shaky handwriting, read, "God forgive us. The new formula, it's alive." "What the hell?" Zach stumbled back, knocking over a filing cabinet. Dozens of classified documents spilled out, each marked with a red stamp. Project Fizz, Human Trials. Tyler's phone clattered to the floor. "Guys, my stream just went dead. No signal." But as they turned to leave, the room's heavy metal door slammed shut. A crackling intercom sparked to life. "Welcome, test subjects. The tasting is about to begin." Drawn by an unseen force, the group found themselves before the factory's centerpiece, an enormous bottling machine. Its once gleaming nozzles now dripped with a viscous, pulsing liquid. "This isn't possible," Mia whimpered, her rational mind rebelling against the impossible sight. The machine creaked to life, conveyor belts whirring. Zach grabbed Mia's arm. "Don't touch anything, no matter what." But Tyler was already reaching for a bottle, his eyes glazed. "Just one sip," he muttered. "I'm so thirsty." As the dark liquid touched his lips, Tyler's scream mixed with the hiss of pressurized nightmares. Mia and Zach fled, leaving Tyler's fate to the bottling horror. They ducked into an employee locker room, hoping for respite. Instead, they found rows of long abandoned uniforms, each bearing a name tag. Mia's eyes widened. "Zach, look at this." The lockers told a chilling story. Personal items left behind in haste. A child's drawing with "Daddy, please come home," scrawled in crayon. A half-written resignation letter. "I can't be part of this anymore. The things we're doing." "What happened here?" Zach whispered. A voice like carbonated gravel answered. "We gave everything asterisk for the formula." The voice drove them back outside, where they stumbled upon a mock-up of a 1950s diner. Cheerful posters advertised new Coke, now with extra kick. "We can hide in there," Zach suggested, his curiosity overriding common sense. As they entered, Mia's foot crunched on broken glass. The sickly sweet scent of cola filled her nostrils, tinged with something metallic. Suddenly, the jukebox flickered to life. A chipper voice rang out. "Time for a taste test, folks. Can you tell the difference? One of these colas contains a asterisk special asterisk ingredient." Rows of people sat at the counter, heads lolling unnaturally. As they turned, Mia and Zach saw their eyes had been replaced with swirling vortexes of fizzing liquid. Fleeing the diner of the damned, Mia and Zach found themselves in an opulent office. A bronze plaque read, "Regional Manager." "Look at this," Mia pointed to a wall of framed photographs. They showed the factory's history, from groundbreaking to grand opening. But as the timeline progressed, something changed. Workers' smiles became forced, their eyes haunted. The final photo showed a group of suits toasting with blood-red cola. "To market domination," the caption read. Zach's hand trembled as he picked up a letter opener shaped like a bottle. "Mia, I don't think Coke's secret formula was just about taste." A gurgling laugh echoed from the office intercom. "Smart boy, care for a demonstration." Desperate for escape, they fled to the syrup mixing room. Enormous tanks loomed, filled with viscous liquid that seemed to move of its own accord. "Maybe there's another way out through here," Zach suggested, his voice cracking with fear. They inched forward, the air thick with sickly sweet vapors. Suddenly, a pipe burst, spraying them with sticky residue. Mia screamed as the syrup began to burrow into her skin. "It burns. Get it off." Zach frantically wiped at his face, his vision blurring. "Mia, I can hear it whispering. It wants us to join, to become one with the brand." His eyes began to swirl with dark fizz. "Just one sip, Mia. What could it hurt?" Fighting the syrup's influence, Mia dragged Zach into a conference room. A long table was set for a presentation, each place setting featuring a cola bottle and a sinister-looking syringe. A projector flickered to life, showing grainy footage of people drinking Coke. Their eyes glazed over, bodies contorting as the drink took hold. A cheerful voiceover rang out. 9 out of 10 test subjects prefer new Coke. Side effects may include loss of free will, molecular reconfiguration, and eternal brand loyalty. Zach's glazed eyes fixed on the screen. "Look how happy they are, Mia. Don't you want to be happy?" Mia slapped him hard. "Snap out of it. This isn't you." A distant scream drew them deeper into the factory's bowels. There, in a massive pressurized chamber, they found a grotesque sight. Dozens of people, workers, executives, all from different eras, floated in tanks of bubbling cola. Their bodies were warped, half human and half liquid, expressions frozen in ecstasy and agony. "Oh God," Mia choked. "They're the missing people. All those urban legends about vanishing Coke employees." Zach approached one tank. Inside, a woman in 80s business attire reached out, her hand dissolving into fizz. Her eyes snapped open, locking onto Zach's. A voiceless scream echoed in his mind. "Join us." As if responding to the silent invitation, the floor beneath them shuddered. Mia and Zach tumbled through a hidden trapdoor, falling into darkness. They landed hard on cold metal. Harsh fluorescent lights flickered on, revealing a vast underground complex. Conveyor belts carried strange, pulsating cola pods. Vats of bubbling liquid emitted an eerie glow. "What is this place?" Zach whispered, momentarily lucid. A metallic voice answered, "Welcome to the true heart of Coca-Cola, where refreshment is manufactured and minds are reprogrammed." They turned to see a towering figure, half man, half machine, with the distinct silhouette of the Coca-Cola bottle. The cyborg executive's voice crackled with artificial cheer. "You humans crave satisfaction, energy, belonging. We simply provide." Mia's mind raced. The factory's not abandoned, it's evolved. Precisely. The executive's eyes glowed Coca-Cola red. Why stop at quenching thirst when we could reshape reality itself? Zach's glazed eyes cleared slightly. You're harvesting people, their desires, their addictions. The most potent ingredients of all, the executive nodded. And you, my friends, are our newest flavor profile. Mechanical arms shot out, grasping for the terrified teens. Mia and Zach ran, ducking under pipes and leaping over bubbling vats. The entire underground complex came alive, grasping tendrils of syrup and snapping bottle caps emerging from every shadow. There, Mia pointed to an emergency exit. They burst through, finding themselves in the factory's massive refrigeration unit. But their relief was short-lived. Sentient cubes of ice crackled menacingly, forming into humanoid shapes. A chorus of voices echoed, "Stay frosty, friends. It's time to chill. Forever." Mia grabbed a broken bottle, jabbing at the nearest ice monster. I don't think this is what they meant by an ice-cold Coke. Their frantic escape led them to a warehouse filled with thousands of vending machines. Each one hummed with ominous energy. "Maybe we can hide in here," Zach suggested, the syrup's influence still clouding his judgment. As they moved down the aisles, the vending machines' displays flickered to life. Familiar slogans warped into nightmarish commands. Obey your thirst. Open happiness and never close it. Taste the feeling of eternal servitude. The machines began to move, forming an ever-shifting maze. From within, distorted voices called out, "Exact change only, for your soul." Fleeing the vending machine labyrinth, Mia and Zach found themselves at the foot of an enormous tank. The Coca-Cola logo gleamed ominously above. Up there, Mia pointed to a catwalk. "We might see an escape route." They climbed the metal stairs, the air growing thick with syrupy mist. At the top, they froze in horror. The tank didn't contain soda, but a swirling vortex of nightmarish images people's deepest desires and darkest fears made liquid. It's not just a drink, Zach realized, fighting the formula's pull. They're bottling human consciousness. A booming laugh echoed. Care for a taste of eternity, folks? With nowhere else to go, they sprinted for the loading docks. A line of Coca-Cola delivery trucks stood waiting, their iconic red paint now a sickly, pulsing crimson. "We have to warn people," Mia said, "if this spreads beyond the factory." Zach nodded grimly, the syrup's influence waning. "There has to be a way to shut it all down." As if in answer, a truck's engine roared to life. They climbed inside, only to find the cab empty. The GPS screen flickered. Destination, everywhere. Payload, New World Order. The truck lurched forward, crashing through the loading bay doors and into the night. The possessed truck barreled down empty streets, Mia and Zach struggling for control. Suddenly, it veered into a fast food drive-through. A crackly voice came through the speaker. "Welcome to McBottled Souls. May I take your order?" Zach's eyes widened in horror. "Mia, look." Every car in line was filled with glassy-eyed passengers, mindlessly sipping dark liquid. "Would you like to try our new Coke-infused burger?" The voice continued. "Now with 666% more addictive goodness." Mia stomped on the gas, plowing through the drive-through and back onto the main road. In the rearview mirror, she saw employees pouring out of the restaurant, their movements jerky and inhuman. As they sped down the highway, billboards began to change. Cheerful Coca-Cola ads morphed into nightmarish visions. "Drink up. Your humanity. Refreshment is futile. I'd like to buy the world a Coke and enslave it." Zach clutched his head. "Mia, I can feel it. The formula, it's trying to take over." Mia gripped the wheel tighter. "Fight it, Zach. Remember who you are." But Zach's eyes were beginning to fizz, his voice distorting. "Why fight it? Don't you want to be part of something bigger? To quench the world's thirst?" Forever? His hand reached for the wheel, trying to steer them back toward the factory. Mia fought for control, finally managing to pull into a convenience store parking lot. As they stumbled out of the truck, they saw the store's lights flicker ominously. Inside, rows of coolers hummed with malevolent energy. The clerk, his eyes swirling with cola, grinned unnaturally. Thirsty kids, first hits free. Zack lurched forward, drawn to the siren song of fizzy doom. Mia grabbed a fire extinguisher, unleashing a cloud of foam. Sorry about the mess? As they ran, bottles began to explode, showering the store with sentient soda. The liquid formed into bubbling tendrils, reaching for the fleeing teens. They climbed the town's water tower, hoping for safety. But at the top, they found a horrifying sight. The tower's contents had been replaced with cola, pulsing with unholy light. It's everywhere, Mia breathed. They're tainting the water supply. Zack, momentarily clear-headed, pointed to a control panel. Look, we can redirect the flow, send it back to the factory. As they worked, Mia noticed familiar faces in the cola below. Their classmates, teachers, parents, all subsumed into the hive mind of brand loyalty. Zack, she realized, we're the only ones left. They raced back to the factory, knowing it was their last chance to end the nightmare. Inside, they found the cyborg executive waiting. Welcome home, it buzzed. Ready to take your place in carbonated paradise. Mia stood firm. This ends now. You can't control everyone. The executive laughed. Oh, but we already do. Every sip, every advertisement. We've been programming humanity for generations. This is just the final step. Zack, fighting the formula's influence, grabbed a nearby lever. What about free will? Choice? Illusions, the executive dismissed. There's only brand loyalty now. With a primal yell, Zack pulled the lever. Alarms blared as the factory began to shake. The redirected cola flooded in, overwhelming the factory's systems. Vats exploded, machines short-circuited, and the cyborg executive began to melt. What have you done? It wailed. The secret formula. It's all coming undone. Mia grabbed Zack's hand. We have to get out of here now. They ran through disintegrating corridors, the very essence of Coca-Cola's dark magic unraveling around them. The factory groaned, decades of secrets and nightmares bubbling to the surface. As they burst through the main gates, a massive explosion rocked the night. A geyser of cola erupted skyward, raining down sticky, fizzling destruction. Mia and Zack didn't stop running until they reached the town center. Around them, dazed people emerged from homes and businesses, the spell of the corrupted cola slowly fading. In the distance, the factory imploded with a thunderous roar, folding in on itself before vanishing in a burst of carbonated mist. Zack looked at Mia, his eyes clear for the first time in hours. Did that really happen? Mia clutched a Coca-Cola bottle cap she'd grabbed in their escape. As she watched, it dissolved into rust. Let's make sure no one ever finds out. But even as dawn broke, a faint whisper of fizz lingered in the air. For in the destruction of one nightmare, how many more were set free to roam our world? And so, dear listeners, our journey through the carbonated kingdom of terror comes to an end. Or does it? For in the destruction of one secret formula, how many more addictive nightmares were released into our unsuspecting world? Mia and Zack may have escaped, but the sweet poison of corporate control has already taken root in your mind. The next time you reach for a refreshing beverage, listen carefully. Behind the cheerful jingle and bright logos, you might hear the whispers of those still trapped in an eternal sugar rush. For the real magic was never in the taste. It was in the power of desire itself. And desire, my friends, can be the most terrifying force of all. What secrets lurk in your favorite brands? What price are you willing to pay for that moment of refreshment? Share your theories in the comments below, and remember, stay thirsty, my friends. But beware what quenches that thirst. Subscribe for more chilling tales from the Nightmare Maestro. Until next time, pleasant nightmares.